helmet visors are still filthy. Still haven't had a chance to clean those. I will do that this weekend. I need to adjust the screws on my helmet anyway. The screws and the little hinge on the helmet loosen up, and then it gets floppy. Actually had one totally fall out the other day. But it's Friday. Let's get the fuck out of here. I had enough before I even got here this morning. And after 9 hours in this fucking place, I have definitely had enough. I've been a little lazy with my camera setups lately. I apologize for that. I may already have said that in another video. But I apologize again if I did already say that. Of course. Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm hungry. We're heading the quick way home. The distance is pretty similar, but a little shorter this way. And there's a little more traffic this way, but it's slightly faster. The other way is more pleasant, though. It'll be a lot more pleasant when they get the road construction done on 395 there at the edge of town. It has not been a bad day. It's just been a long day. This bike never fails to impress me. I love how it gets right up and fucking moves. the handles. I haven't had a lot of bikes. I think this is number 4, if you don't count dirt bikes when I was a kid. But it's definitely my favorite. It's definitely the best of the 4. I did have one other Indian and I loved it too, and it broke my heart to trade that in on this, and I do miss that bike. But I wouldn't go back. If I could only have one, I wouldn't go back the other way. I wish I could have had both. But that just wasn't in the cards either. So given the choice, I'd definitely stick with this one over my vintage. If he knows his headlights are out. He will get a ticket for that. It is the 15th of September. And the bike says it's 77 degrees, but on the bike it definitely feels like September. The day felt so long because it was really kind of a slow day. The majority of the shit that I did today just felt like a waste of my time. Like, the bikes I worked on just really belonged in the fucking dumpster, not on the lift. Although I've made significant improvements to the fucking Methmobile Sportster. There's another Sportster in the shop that, no matter how you look at it, it's fucking hilarious. And it's really pretty cool, but it's got a Street Glide fairing on it. It's got a great big sissy bar on it, and it's got big twin hard bags on it. So it's all Sportster, but it's got all the big twin parts on it. And I haven't decided if it's just completely fucking horrendous or if it's just awesome as shit. So either way, it makes me laugh every time I see it. So for that, I'm calling it the Little Big Twin. And I've decided that because it makes me laugh every time I see it, it must be the coolest fucking Sportster ever. And no, you cannot just put Street Glide fairings on a Sportster. They've got homemade bracketry and just ridiculous craziness on it. Someone didn't have a saw when they made their own brackets from whatever friggin' bar stock they've got, so they just drilled 100 holes in a line and broke it off to make their brackets out of a piece of flat bar. So I'm sure it's probably just a horrible electrical nightmare under there, but I applaud their ingenuity just the same. Whoever has it now, it was like that when they bought it. They just got it. And it's in the shop because one of the rear wheel bearings is completely roached. All the it blew the cover off the side of the sealed bearing, and most of the bearing balls had fallen out. So there's, no bearing on the right hand side of that wheel, and it chewed up the wheel and the wheel spacer, because there's a spacer inside the wheel that spaces the wheel bearings, so when you tighten the axle nuts it doesn't put pressure on the wheel bearings. But yeah, it chewed up the wheel, it chewed up the axle spacer. It's a friggin' mess. And it needs a tire too, because they've been doing burnouts and took a chunk out of the tire. So yeah, it's waiting on a wheel and a tire. And it's got a big twin rear fender on it too. And the closeouts for between the fender and the bags, and bag lights and closeout lights, and it's friggin' wild. It is an enormous pain in the ass to work on, but I kind of like it anyway. Well, I hope you all have a good evening, afternoon, morning, day, whatever. And I'm going to try and have a good night and a good weekend. I'll talk to you all later.